Here we go! Welcome to the Nintendo Power Zone, guys. It's your boy NyceOne, and today is October 6th, 2020, and the street date for the standing Eevee from the Pokemon Funko Pop line. I am ecstatic because it means I have collected the full set of Eevee and its evolutions. That includes Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Flareon. I cannot wait for them to do more, but for right now, we have Eevee, and I cannot wait. This is our second Eevee in the line. We've got a bunch of Pikachus, and we've got Pichu as well. But now we're starting to see Eevee and its evolutions. Very smart of Funko to really play up the fact that Eevee and Pikachu are the two series mascots in this line. Gotta give them credit for that. They are doing some big stuff. Also, I kind of want to point out, am I the only one who's noticed that whenever Funko releases brand new Pokemon Pops, it usually ties in to some kind of big Pokemon news? So when they released the 10-inch Bulbasaur, that was tied to the release of Detective Pikachu. They came out on the same weekend. And last week, they announced the DLC for the Crown Tundra for Pokemon Sword and Shield will be coming out on October 22nd, but the trailer dropped last week, and last week so did this brand new wave of Funko Pop. I think Funko has the inside track, so it might be important for us to start paying attention to when Funko's releasing new Pokemon items, because yeah, that might coincide with some big Pokemon news. Anyway guys, we got Eevee. Let's go ahead and look at the box, and then we can go ahead and get it out of its box. Alright guys, so we went ahead and got Eevee outside of the box, and I love it. It is adorable. They did a really good job with this pose. I know it shares a similar pose to the Jolteon and the Flareon, but it looks really good on Eevee, and there are no neck issues, which is really nice to note because we did have issues with the Jolteon, although I was able to get that corrected after the fact. Anyway guys, there is one thing I do want to make note of, the eyes. There are little bits of glue marks around the eyes. We have the same problem with the 10-inch version of Eevee. This just seems to be something that shows up on the color, the brown that they use for Eevee. So you notice this, it does come off rather easily, so it's not a big deal. Just some warm water will get that right off. But yeah, aside from that guys, I love the way they make this look. This is cute. This is so much better than the first Eevee that they did. It seems like the sculptors at Funko have learned a whole lot from working on Eevee in the Afternoon with Eevee and Friends line, because it's really transitioning well into the Funko Pop format. I gotta say, I gotta give them so much credit for how great all four of these ended up looking. Jolteon being the weakest of them all, but they all still looked really great, and they stand out amongst the other Pokemon Pop. They are, like I said in the last video, it feels like they are a wave unto themselves. But that's enough gushing. Let's go ahead and take a look at Eevee from a few different angles. Alright guys, let's do some comparisons. We have the original release Eevee standing next to the brand new standing Eevee, and take a look. They are both so adorable. I love the way these two look next to each other. There's just something really cute about them. The head sculpt is actually different. That was a concern I had initially when I bought this. I was wondering if there was any differences in the head sculpt, and it's minor, but the standing Eevee has an open mouth. And yeah, that's not a huge deal, but it is something. So at least Funko isn't reusing head sculpts on this new series of Eevee and its evolutions. I do want to make note of one thing though. The standing Eevee is marginally smaller than the seated Eevee, which is probably to maintain a sense of scale when you place the new Eevee next to its evolutions Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Flareon. It's not a huge deal. It's just a little weird when you see them side by side, but like I said, it's most likely so that they can maintain a sense of scale. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, moving on, we went ahead and grabbed Vaporeon, Jolteon, Flareon, and take a look. All these Eevees and evolutions side by side, and they look absolutely fantastic. I love what Funko has done with the Eevees. Eevee is now the secondary mascot. It's been that way for a few years now, and Funko's done a great job of celebrating that fact, not just with the Pokemon Pop line, but with the Afternoon with Eevee and Friends line, which has also been really fantastic. Funko truly gets Eevee and its evolutions, and that makes me happy. Now, I really wish they would do Jolteon some more justice, because on both lines I feel like the ball's been dropped. But either way, I still love the majority of these two series, and these evolutions look great. Alright guys, and now we're going to bring out the big one, the Dynamax 10-inch Eevee, standing next to all of the Eevee and evolutions, and I gotta say, look at how great these look. This is amazing. Eevee really does look good in Funko Pop form. So happy to have all of these in my set. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so this is the part of the video where I get to flex on y'all. Here we have all the Pokemon Funko Pops that have been released up to this point, minus the flocked versions of them, because I hate flocked figures in any toy line. So sorry Funko, I'm not going to double dip on those. I'm already double dipping on the 10 inches. You're not going to get me a third time. Anyway guys, take a look at all these gorgeous pops. They look amazing standing side by side. The table truly doesn't accommodate them all. And there are 26, and we know that there are at least 4 more coming. One of them may be a Raichu, and if that's true, super excited about Raichu. That way we finish off Pikachu and its evolutionary line. Unless we start to see, the Dynamax version of Pikachu with its, round fat body. I would hope that Funko has seen like the appeal of that and decides that, hey, they gotta do a Funko Pop in that format, because that looks dope. Anyway guys, it's time to go ahead and move on, so let's go ahead and do that. Alright ladies and gentlemen, it is score time, my favorite time, because I get to tell you whether or not something is actually worth your hard-earned money. So this is retailing at $10.99. It is a common Funko Pop. You should be able to find this anywhere you buy your Funko Pops. And guys, let's go ahead and start with the quality, because yeah, I didn't have very many issues with this one. It's not as good as the Vaporeon or even the Flareon, but they still did a fairly good job. The body is yet again not hollow, feels very, very well built. The head is standard Funko Pop style though. It's hollow, which is a shame because they did such a really good job with that Vaporeon, giving it some heft in every body part that they had for it. And to see the quality just not matched, that's a little upsetting, but it is what it is. I understand that Funko Pops are supposed to be low-end consumer products and they're made on the cheap, so in order to maintain that level of cheapness, they gotta be built somewhat cheap. So for its quality, we're gonna go ahead and we'll give it an 8 out of 10. Moving on to the design, I gotta say I love this pose for Eevee. The seated pose was cute, but for some reason with Eevee standing up with his legs out, he looks even cuter. This is a great looking pose, and it makes it stand out from the other Eevee a lot actually. And I love the fact that there's a brand new head sculpt, even though it is minor, but at least it's something. So yeah, I think they did a really good job of bringing Eevee to life with this one. Far better than they did with the first one out. So guys, for its appearance, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give it an 8 as well. So its final score is going to be an 8 out of 10. It gets our Nintendo Power Zone seal of quality, and I think Funko deserves it. They've been able to maintain a nice level of consistency when it comes to making these Funko Pops look like Pokemon, and that makes me happy, and it gets me excited for the future releases that they get. You know Nintendo's happy with it, you know the Pokemon company is happy with it, so let's see more Funko Pops. And At some point, can we get a Mario series of Funko Pops? But it is what it is. Anyway, guys, it's time for me to go ahead and get out of your hair. But before I let you go, social media links. You can hit me up on Twitter at NyceOne983, and you can email me at NyceOne983@gmail.com. You can hit me up on Facebook, Facebook.com/Nintendo Power Zone. If you're a fan of the podcast, you can always download new episodes on iTunes, Google Play Music, stream episodes on Spotify and Stitcher Radio. But if you want to watch the video version, you gotta check us out right here on YouTube. YouTube.com/Nintendo Power Zone. Thank you guys so much for watching, and remember to stay fresh. Deuces!